Hey guys, Anime 5 here. Sorry, I had to redo this again because of something. Anyways, yeah, you're watching some X-Fine gameplay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and just say what I have to say here. So as you know, this whole entire past weekend, it's been pretty exciting for what's gonna be going on between now and what just happened. Okay, whatever. Um, this whole entire past weekend's been interesting. There was loads of summer showcases, Summer Game Fest, Xbox Showcase, Wholesome Games, Feature Game Show, uh, uh, Play of Games or whatever, or Games of Play, whatever. And of course, there was Ubisoft Forward that happened yesterday, and I have a lot of things to say about this whole entire situation. But the first thing I'm going to start off with is talking about how there seems to be this whole dilemma when it comes to the whole controversy regarding with Sweet Baby Inc. games being having DEI in them and such, and YouTube creatives constantly criticizing games such as, well, here's a good example, Perfect Dark. Now I'll just show you it over on the screen, and as you can see, and people keep on comparing it between Perfect Dark Zero and the remake for Perfect Dark, okay? And I can kind of understand, but people are forgetting that they're using Perfect Dark Zero's main character, Joanna Dark from Perfect Dark Zero, and comparing it to the remaster for the Perfect Dark. And I don't understand why, because when I look at the Perfect Dark, the N64 version, and I compare it to the remaster version or the remake version for Perfect Dark, there's not really much amount of difference. Literally, there's not. There may be a few instances where you notice maybe the jawbone and the cheek and such are a little bit wider. I get it. I understand that a lot of people do not want a character like her to be looking like that, because that's not how women should look like. And to be honest, it really doesn't really bother me that much, but I know a lot of people in the gaming space seem to have such a big freaking goddamn bone to pick when it comes to games like that. It's so stupid. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, and I don't understand it at all. And it's so dumb. Literally, it's why are you using an image from Perfect Dark Zero to the original Perfect Dark? Okay, you're literally comparing an actual image, an image like a game image cover, instead of an actual in game. Literally, when and yeah, as I said, I literally did a Google search for the N64 version of Perfect Dark, for Joanna Dark in the original for the N64 version, and then I compared it to the 2024 version. And yeah, there's not much difference, so I don't understand that complaining. And then the other point of complaining is also other ones, such as Fable, for example, and there's other instances. And a lot of people, there was one YouTube creator that had a video, saying how, the Summer Game Fest, there were a lot of games that were just a complete waste of time, and it's no, there weren't. There were some decently good-looking games. I saw it. I was watching the whole entire thing. There were some decently good-looking games that had some really cool, awesome aesthetics to it. And people just don't understand that it's okay, if you are going to just criticize a video game, go leave the gaming industry. Leave. Go play some games that you would rather play, and just leave the gaming industry entirely. Okay? I'm done. I'm literally tired of people constantly throwing complaints about everything. It's sickening, it's tiring, and you know what? Yes, I originally thought at like I originally thought that um I originally thought that playing games play certain games had like such has such a negative impact, but in general there's not like everybody who's a developer is allowed to create a game that they want to create. After all, it's up to the developers of what they want to put into the game. Now, okay, if management, like a creative director, like a producer, says, "Hey, this needs to be edited," and if somehow a consultancy tells you to add some SBI or make the female character look ugly, just ignore that person. Ignore whatever someone tells you. You are the creative. You are the creator. You're making the game. You decide about what should be in the game. And if people can't understand it, then they might as well just leave and create their own. Because in general, the whole entire thing with art is that it's creative, and you can create whatever game you want to create. There are some indie developers that are solo developers. They're literally creating their own. And if people are gonna just go ahead and criticize, then make your own. Stop complaining, okay? Literally, stop complaining. And yeah, I'm gonna probably pick up Perfect Dark. Same thing. I'm gonna pick up Sonic Director's X. Same thing with Metaphor ReFantasio, I think it's called. Maybe Once Human or some other games. There were a few games that really stood out. I'm still looking forward to. I really want to play Clockwork Revolution. I still really want to play that game. I may probably also pick up Metal Gear. I may end up picking up some other games that are probably indie or AAA, depending on what it is. I mean, okay, I looked at Wholesome Games, and a lot of those games, there are some indie games out there that really just don't have an interest in me. I like things that have like a 2005 aesthetic to it. I like games that have a really cool, interesting narrative to it. And yeah, it is what it is. So people have no right to tell me, oh yeah, no, oh don't pick this game up because it's SBI. Well, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna pick up Kingdom Hearts 4 because I love Kingdom Hearts 4. And you know, if the game if people say the game is crap, well, they can go fuck themselves. Seriously, I can clearly say that when it comes to all sorts of fun, when it comes to a lot of games, like I look at games from an art aesthetic moment. I don't just look at solid gameplay. Gameplay does not have like super amazing gameplay. Doesn't have my eye. Okay, I enjoy playing games that are fun. I look at the way how I look at the aesthetic, and I look at the genre, and sure, everybody has their own opinions. Everybody has their own tastes. I get it. Okay, everybody has their own tastes. Everybody enjoys what they like. Yeah. And truth be told, I'm now at the point in my life where I just want to just play games that are fun. They're fun, enjoyable, and they have their own thing. So, in general, I honestly have to say that this whole entire situation when it comes to games is just not. This whole entire thing with criticizing games and saying how, oh well, you can't be, it's awful the way how this game looks and such. Like, okay, I looked at South of Midnight. That game doesn't seem appealing. Maybe to some people it does. And there are some games out there, even like smaller indie titles, that really could go on Switch. Because if you think about it, there are a lot more kids, a lot more children that actually play on Switch than they do on PC. It's a fact. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. And everybody fucking knows it. Everyone does. Everybody knows it. And yeah, you have no right to tell people, oh, don't buy this game because it has DEI. I don't care. I really, really don't care. Play whatever games you want to play. Okay, don't tell the individual what games they shouldn't be playing. They can play whatever they want. And I'm so sick and tired of people like this one guy called RGE. I'm so sick and tired of this guy called Hypnotic. I'm so sick and tired of this guy called Smash JT. I'm so sick and tired of Ryan Kinnell. I'm so sick of everybody trying to criticize people. I mean, trying to criticize a lot of game developers because of the fact is that there are games out there for everybody. Okay, there are some decently good-looking games. The only problem is that for RGE, he likes playing games that feature anything that's lewd, fan service, and jiggle physics. That's it. And then, of course, there are some games that you're making the female character have look all ugly because look all ugly and she doesn't look like a female character and such, and so what's your fucking goddamn problem, really? And I get it. Yes, I understand that there are a lot of layoffs because a lot of people don't like the game, and yes, there are some games out there that really are terrible, but sometimes you can't have everything that you so totally desire. Like you can't have your piece of pie and eat it too sometimes. Sorry to say this. Now that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that you can't have every single pie and eat it too. You can. It all just depends on whatever. I personally I love playing a whole bunch of games like this game, X Defiant. I mean, I think it's cool. Now, yes, I'm not super into online capturing games like I used to. I mean, I used to be back in around 2000 something. I was super into online play. Like I was into games like Call of Duty Black Ops. I was into GTA Online, mostly because I had like a good couple of people, and also too I was kind of bored at the time because I was living out in in downtown Berkeley area, and I remember there were times where I kind of felt really bored, or actually wait, no, I was still living with my parents. I was still living with my parents at the time, and I didn't really have really much to play. And then I remember when I got a PlayStation 3, playing a game like Call of Duty was actually a lot of fun. There was a lot I could actually do and play. I'd made some friends on there. I mean, I even actually made friends with this one girl who was really cool. She was from I think Puerto Rico or something. She was really cool. I remember playing with this other guy and girl. We were playing survival mode a lot in GTA Online. And then one day, the guy who I talked to, he just all of a sudden just out and just left, and he didn't even bother returning. And yeah, and then of course it was just me left alone. And then there was this other girl who I liked, and we would always play survival mode. And one day, all of a sudden, she just didn't even want to talk to me. Didn't want to she didn't want to talk to me or whatever. Mostly because I caught her playing with some guys, and they were literally hitting on her and such, and I'm like, dude, I told her that, hey, I've been waiting for you to play with me online. And then she just was all I forget what she said. She either said she couldn't or whatever, and yeah, and then of course she just blocked me, or just took me off of her place. Took me off of as her PlayStation friend, and then eventually got to the point now where, like, you know what, I'm kind of done. I'll just play a lot of single player games, and that's one thing I like about single player games is because when you play a single player game, it's a lot more fun because it's enjoyable. You can just enjoy the story without worrying about having to worry about bullshit from other people. You really don't need to worry about that shit, like literally. And yeah. But looking over at all the other games that were shown from all the events, like looking at the new Doom game, that looks kind of cool. I mean, I remember I played the original. No, not the original. I had looked at I played the 2016 Doom. I never got to play the original that was on. What was it like on? Was it on like? It wasn't. Was it on the PlayStation? I don't think it was. And yeah, I remember it fondly. And well, I don't remember it fondly because I never actually played the PlayStation version. But playing playing the 2016 version, that was fun. And there are a lot of great, decently good games out there. It all just depends on what it is that you like. And don't listen to other people that try to be heavily criticized, okay? Literally. I've kind of now realized that, you know what, it's best for me to make my own opinions instead of listening to other people from a YouTube creative side because they don't know what the fuck they're even talking about. They really no, they've just been drinking the horrible. Oh, I don't want to play any of these games cool because of XYZ. Well then, if you're gonna just go and be critical of whatever, then you know what? Get the fuck out of here. Leave. Don't come back to the gaming industry. Okay? Just forget about it. And yes, I do agree, speak with your wallets about what it is that you want to change. I mean, I get that, there are a lot of games that are shown that feature a black female protagonist, but hey, I don't mind. I don't mind playing something like that. I really don't. But yes, I think that about covers it. But yeah, if you guys want to, and check out some demos. There's a lot of really interesting demos out there. I mean, I played, what is it, yesterday I played the demo for Once Human. I think it was called, like, Inaudica or something. That was interesting. I played the demo for Seed Steel. That game looks pretty cool. Really has that Mirror's Edge look to it, but also has some of the... I don't know. It's kind of like a mixture of Dark Souls and mixture with Dark Souls and Mirror's Edge. But I don't know. I like it. In Nautica, I didn't. I like it, but I just don't like super Dark Souls type of games because that's just the way how I like things. I mean, I guess that's just the way how it is, but. I don't know, Dark Souls type of games, I mean, I did play a little bit of Lords of the Fallen. I need to probably go back and try and play that. I tried playing Elden Ring. That kind of worked for me, but at the same time, it kind of didn't. Mostly because Dark Souls is... I don't know, Dark Souls is not my thing. The Dragon Age Veilguard, I don't know what the fuck they even did to that game, because it doesn't really... correlate to me when it comes to when I played Inquisition. Like, they gave it a major overhaul and they changed it in a way where it's you don't even recognize any of the characters from the previous version. I mean, I loved Inquisition. I thought Inquisition was cool. Yes, I know there were some issues with it. I'm not going to deny that, but you gotta admit there were some really, really good, interesting humor tied to it. It was actually fun. I mean, and the cool thing is when it came to Inquisition was you could choose whichever out of the 5 races that you want to be, whether that be elf, dwarf, a warrior, mage, that sort of thing. And yeah, I mean it was cool, and getting to know some of the characters from that. Now I have never played Inquisition. I mean Origin. I never played Origin. I don't recall because Inquisition was like pretty much like the very first Dragon Age game I've ever played, but I understand, that was like BioWare back in the day, and yeah, there are some games out there that aren't going to be like completely great, but you have to remember that if you don't like whatever games that are out there, just make your own, okay? I'm slowly trying to learn how to make Unreal Engine 5. That's why I haven't been streaming a lot recently, and why I haven't really been doing a lot in terms of making content, but that's just the way how it is for me. And yeah. So yeah, some of the games I've already gave a few lists of the games I'm anticipating for. There are some others I'm looking forward to. Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero, that game looks cool. And even though yes, I've played a few Dragon Ball Z games back in the day. I mean, I've played the first, I've played Budokai 2, Tenkaichi 2, Tenkaichi 3, Budokai 3. Wow, and I can't believe I just died there. Tenkaichi 3. What else have I played? Oh my god, my brain. Yeah, I've played something Z Fighters. I've played a whole bunch of different ones. And yes, I've played many in my lifetime. I mean, I've even played beta version for one of the Dragon Ball Z games. And playing the beta version is actually, it's cool to try out a demo of the game, because at least when you try out the demo, you at least get a good sense of what the game is like upon release. That's the thing. And that's one thing I feel like a lot of people don't even realize, is that, okay, instead of being criticizing, play the demos. Participating in the betas. That's how you'll get to know the thing. And yes, if you don't like the characters, that's fine. A game is not always about the character, okay? To me, the protagonist is like the last thing that matters to me. What does matter to me the most is really just... What matters to me the most is really just the art style, the environments, the look and feel of the game. That's what matters. That is really what matters the most. The main protagonist is the last thing. Yeah, yes, they totally changed. I never really got into the Spider-Man series, which I know, like, when they made Mary Jane for the PlayStation 5 version of Spider-Man, they completely changed the Mary Jane's appearance, which I get it. Yes, I understand that was, but then at the same time, Spider-Man is not really for me. I mean, I'm not really interested in in a lot of the Marvel and DC games, to be honest. I don't really find that pleasing at all, because I mean, you guys know that a lot of the games that I've done Let's Play for on here, most of them are anime games. Some are actual realistic games. I mean, what have I played on here on YouTube and Kick? I mean, I've played. Oh my god, what was the game now? I think I played a little bit of Genshin Impact. I don't remember if I've ever played that. I mean, I've played Kingdom Hearts. I've played Tales of Berseria. I've shown a little bit of gameplay for Tales of Zestiria. I haven't played Tales of Grace's F on here, which sadly I really want that game to be remastered and come directly to PC, because I would love to play that game. I would give anything, if they managed to make the improvements to the game, because I know it came out on the PlayStation 3, and I know that at the time when it was created, the PlayStation 3 was kind of a little bit of a messy console, to be honest. That was one of the reasons why Sony couldn't even bother to couldn't make the PlayStation 3 be backwards compatible, because it was just a whole entirely new system that had different type of had a whole different type of hardware, and it couldn't match up, and And if you download an emulator, like if you downloaded an emulator and you actually play Tales of Berseria, I mean Tales of Grace's F at 60 frames, man, the game like it's super crazy because one is like the characters move at a very fast pace and the dialogue moves so quick that like you can barely get a chance to understand what the heck is going on, like everything. And it's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely crazy. And even for some of the other games, now if you play it like at 30 frames, the game moves like really slowly. It's not a fact. I mean, it's not an opinion. It's a fact. It really is. But if they somehow manage to make Tales of Grace's F like a remaster version of it directly for PC, and maybe and I don't know, maybe for PlayStation 5 and the Series S and X, I want the game to actually be just at 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second, and actually have make the frame rate solid and good, like not have be so much stuttering and such, and also have the fight mechanics be improved upon because some of the boss fights are really like repetitive. Really repetitive. I'm not even kidding. It's super repetitive. But yeah. But overall, I mean, I have to give the whole entire thing, this whole entire gaming event shit. Let's see, for Xbox, I give it about about 7 to 8 stars. Summer Game Fest, about a 7. Ubisoft, a 1. Ubisoft a 1. Wholesome Games, they get 1. Yeah, also probably gets a 1 as well because both of them seem boring. Devolver Digital gets 0 stars out of 10 because of how boring it was. Like literally, like it felt like what the fuck. That was like the most cringiest thing ever because it's all about a guy and showing his whole entire collection, and then a police comes and it's like, oh, what's going on here, and such and such. I was really like, and Star Wars Outlaws is not really something I'm gonna play, to be honest. I mean, I don't really like Ubisoft games in general because, I mean, Ubisoft's like launcher is crap, like compared to Steam. Steam's launcher is solid, it's intuitive, and it's really simple. And I don't understand like why Ubisoft decided to go down that route because if you think about it, like Ubisoft's whole entire thing is just like it's so incredibly stupid. I mean, EA has the same exact thing as well. I mean, EA has EA Origin. I mean, and it's slightly solid than Ubisoft's, but still, I don't understand why you need to download their launcher when you could just play their games directly on Steam. Really. I mean, Steam is much more better. I mean, it's a better launcher, and it takes number 1, and Epic Games is number 2. Epic Games, their launcher is just like, their UI is cool, but man, it is so slow. Cause man, when you open up Epic Games Store, Epic Games Launcher, man, that launcher takes so long to open up. Meanwhile, Steam's is like one to 2 clicks of it, and it's just open. Simple, solid, and everything. And I honestly prefer Steam over Epic anyways. Literally. And I know that, I know other people would prefer, GOG and such, or itch.io, but I don't really care much for GOG or itch.io because I don't really play like a lot of super indie games. Like I really don't. I find that they're not like, I mean, yes, I understand, when you're making an indie game, you're kind of like on a budget because you don't have like a huge ginormous amount of people, and it's not like you have like a lot of leeway and such. But then again, those games can be made like at a really really good affordable price. Like you could like literally make an indie game that could only take about maybe like a good couple years. Meanwhile, when it comes to creating a third party game or even like when it comes to making like a AAA game, that takes about 5 to 10 years. I'm not even kidding. It takes 5 to 10 years. But due to the fact is that AI is now like kind of like going to be taking over is going to be taking over, it'll make things a little bit more easier. Plus, I think games will come out a little bit less than 5 to 10 years, depending on it. But again, it's really really like because I know like sometimes like there's always like some sort of hell when it comes to game development because there's always like a whole bunch of layoffs, people have to work overtime, and it's a nightmare. I know that much. I know that when it comes to working in the game industry, it is a nightmare. At least that's what I've been told. Okay, I'm no expert. I don't know much about the whole games industry. I only know a fair bit amount. I'm not a super knowledgeable person because I don't work in the gaming industry. I mean, I'm really like I'm just a guy who works in fucking goddamn retail, which is a really shitty job considering that like you get the shitty hours and you don't get a good decent enough pay. Because I mean, like, what when in fast food, it's like okay, you get $1 more when you work in fast food, but for some reason in retail, you don't get $1 more, which is completely stupid. Plus, not to mention, you have to deal with like a lot of people calling off. You have to deal with a lot of fucking goddamn customers complaining and throwing shit at your face, and I have to deal with that almost all the fucking goddamn time. Oh my god. I mean, literally, like I had like one lady who's like, well, can you please fold that nicely because I don't want to have to go home and have to iron it. It's like, bro, lady, that's your problem, not mine. And honestly, I hate it to death. But anyways, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys thought about. If you did see the Summer Game Fest, please leave comments in the comment section down below. And if you want to see some more stuff, just keep it here. I know I've been having some. I just have a lot going on in my mind right now, and that's why I haven't been streaming as much as I should be. But then again, I'm really, really, really trying to work on myself a little bit more, trying to better myself, and I feel like the only best way for me to do is to just cut ties with streaming and recording for the time being. It doesn't mean like I'm gone. I mean I'm gonna be gone forever. I just have a lot of things to just going on in my life. There's a lot of new stuff that's going on with me every single day, like between appointments and trying to spend at least like a good 30 minutes or a good 20 to 30 minutes learning about how to make something within Unreal Engine, because I'm trying to learn how to build in Unreal Engine, and then I'm also trying to figure out where do I fit in life, because throughout all my life I've always actually had a hard time like trying to get anywhere in life. I've always only cared about just playing one thing. I've always cared about playing video games. I've never cared so much about reality. I've never really cared much about reality. I always find people in reality are such full of BS. Like they're so full of bullshit. They're so full of themselves that they have no understanding of how the world works. I used to be like one of those people until of course I reached the age of reason, and now I understand that there are people out there that are just so dumb, stupid, and are insignificant morons. Hell, like literally, you walk out all the time. You look at the world, and hey, okay, great. There's a lot of people that are so dumb and stupid. I can't fathom how stupid they are. And everybody's so full of shit. Hell, even some YouTube creators on here are so full of bullshit. It's like, for RG, he's like, oh well, I don't play, I don't play these games. I'm so happy, that I don't play those games. Okay, well, you play a game, you play like some seriously non-safe for work type of games almost all the fucking goddamn time. What are you talking about? And you're literally paying for games no matter where. Okay, you're if you play on smartphone, well, you know what? Guess what? You're a gamer if you play on smartphone. I'm sorry. Now, you may be labeled as that maybe playing video games on a smartphone may be accepting, but in reality, you're a gamer by heart if you play on a smartphone. Okay? You may be called as a mobile gamer, but you're still a gamer nonetheless. Okay? That's what you are. And everybody fucking knows it. Okay? And for those out there who try to make fun of people who are otakus, like seriously, you know what? Call me an otaku, call me whatever you want. But at least when I play video games, I enjoy them. I have fun. Because that's what games are. They're all about having fun. They're immersive experiences that you can't get anywhere else. And especially like, in at work and you have to deal with some of your coworkers who always, try to make fun of you because the fact is that you play video games. I've always tried my best to just try to prove them, to just try to like there are so many so many studies that have actually shown that video games are actually good for you. They actually are. And, because strategy games are all about, coming up with strategies to make your life better. Action games are all about taking action and taking names on people, like this game, for example. Adventure RPG type of games are all about, going on quests and bearing out life and try to figure out things. And video games are actually are a great way to expand one's own horizons. And yes, sure, people may say, but gaming cause violence and such. Well, that's first of all, gaming do not cause violence. You the human, cause violence. It only just depends on you in general. Okay, if you cause trouble for school and you walk into your school with guns blazing and everything, you're the problem. You did this. It's not the gaming's fault. And if parents are not being parents, then it's the parents' responsibility. And and honestly, parents need to be educated more. They really do. Like, and I honestly think that if you're gonna be if you're gonna go into being a parent, go to a school for made for parents where it talks a lot about how video games are good and how video games are okay for your child, but you need to learn to take responsibility. So that means no neglecting your child, no putting a fucking goddamn screen, no putting putting a screen in front of your child for 8 hours a day and then yelling at him or her because of what he or she did. Take responsibility for once in your life. Seriously. And instead of blaming video games, blame yourselves. That's all I'm gonna say. But yes, I'll leave it there. But yeah, hit the subscribe button if you wanna see more content, and the bell icon so that way you can stay up to date. Whenever I get back to streaming, I'll be streaming again over on Kick, so join me over on there and all that goodness. All right. I am debating about switching back to Premiere Pro instead of DaVinci because honestly, I feel like I hate DaVinci now. I hate the setup, honestly. And I feel like I like the UI better in Premiere Pro, even though, yes, I know there's a little bit of controversy going on with Adobe right now, but I'll leave it there, all right? So, as everything, this is Anime Core 5, and I'll see you guys next time, where I will And I'll see you guys next time for whenever I start uploading more content on here over on YouTube and Kick, alright? Till then, I'll see you guys next time. Take care, guys.